Swift's boyfriend because that is what Nickelodeon said he was to the world. They did not explain to these kids that this man is a professional football player who has played his entire life to get to this moment, to reach the pinnacle of the sport. No. He is Taylor Swift's boyfriend, and he just happens to be good at football. And that win was so sad for 49ers fans, but also for the rest of us. That one was sad because we will have to deal with this foolishness for the rest of the year. We all die a little bit on the inside. And as Nickelodeon and the NFL and everyone celebrates Taylor Swift and the increased attendance of 120 million, only second, the most watched broadcast in U.S. history, only second to the moon landing because of Taylor Swift's involvement, which is why I told you the fix was in when we played them in Baltimore. But you know, I ain't even gonna get, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not even gonna get involved. What I'm gonna say is, as we celebrate the NFL and Travis Kelce, he decides to assault his coach on national TV in front of everyone. Now listen, dog, I understand the game is, you don't get to play that game unless you're passionate, right? It's a no. You don't get to play that game unless you're passionate. But this is an absolute, wrong side. This is an absolute no. We changed the studio around, so I got to learn. I got to get the new things. And anyway, this is an absolute no. Because there's no way you're going to touch me, grab me, and yell at me, almost knock me over. Andy Reid is 65. He took a stutter step, and it wasn't on purpose. You not playing in that game, at least for the rest of the half, right? Like you got to sit down, Taylor Swift's boyfriend. You got to sit down. Because there's no way as a coach I'm allowing that type of behavior, because if it happens once, it will happen again. He would have sat down at halftime, and it better have been a really good halftime show for me. They had thought about bringing you back, and we go to halftime, and halftime started with a warning. It started with a warning because we knew Usher was going to come out being Usher. I called it. I said at some point in this show, he going to have on some black leather, then he going to have on something white, and then he going to be sleeveless. But I wasn't sure how he was going to mess up somebody's home, right? I wasn't sure if he was going to do some damage. Apple warned us, but apparently no one warned Swiss Beats. Because Usher was all over that. And here's the thing, I don't blame him. Some people want it all, and I'm gonna go for all too, okay? So he grabbed up Alicia Keys, and it's that moment, it's this look on her face that's really the issue, right? Because that's the moment when you walk up on a girl and you're not flat. Gentlemen, you know what I mean? You're not flat. You ain't full. You ain't flat. You got just enough for her to notice and be like, boom. That's that moment. Swiss, get your girl, because Usher's gonna get her. Now, outside of that, right? I know there's been a lot of, was this good? This wasn't bad. This was boring. Usher put on a top 5 Super Bowl performance, ladies and gentlemen. There was a dude that broke dance and standing on his head. Usher came out in skates. That is a Delta in the background. I put that up there because you know where I'm about to go next. The highlight for me at the Super Bowl was the Noops. When I saw the K, I said, oh, wait a minute. And then I hit the shimmy with him.
Calm down, Marvin. Calm down.
Yo to the Noops. Yo to these young brothers who did a phenomenal job representing the organization in class and style and smoothness and just in reputation. Because you know who was on that stage? Just the Reds, the Noops, and the Deltas. I ain't seen no apes. I ain't seen no dog. None of it. Not one of it. Anyway, the thing that then caught me is then Usher decided he wanted to shimmy. And I was like, oh, no. If Usher is shimmying on national TV, then Usher needs to go to the basement. Somebody get Usher in the basement. And I joke, ladies and gentlemen, because Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated is a non-hazing organization. We stand by that. We guarantee it. We are a non-hazing organization. Let us move on before I get a cease and desist letter, please. And of course, the Super Bowl cannot be played without some sort of controversy, right? Like, controversy had to happen. And it was apparently the Democrats was attacking fans for not standing. I was like, wait a minute. I watched the whole Super Bowl. I watched the beginning. I watched Andre Day. I watched all the way through the end before they brought down Taylor Swift so she could walk onto the field. And I didn't see one attack. So, of course, I had to click on the link. I said, clickety, click, click. And Fox News goes on to report that a Democratic Congress hits Super Bowl fans for not standing for the Negro national anthem. And I'm sorry, when I read Negro national anthem, I saw nigga. I know for a fact whoever typed this at Fox News wrote nigga. He wrote nigga in all capital letters with an E and an R underlined. And someone in the editing side said, oh my God, we got to make it Negro. But me reading Negro national anthem got me hot behind the ears. Now, did this congressman actually hit someone? No, he did not. You know what he did? The only hit he hit was enter on his tweet. His tweet was, hey, very, very few stood at Super Bowl for Lift Every Voice and Sing, which was sang by the phenomenal Andre Day, by the way. The Negro national anthem, not a pretty picture of Super Bowl crowd. Period, comma, something. Which showed his age. Which really shows his age. But I think the man basically just said, like, hey, isn't this kind of strange? There was no attack. There was no thing. He used Negro because he was old enough to use Negro. Like, if you look at Rep. Cohen, he's from the Negro era. He's from the era where Negro was the correct word. You didn't call, no, I'm not going to call him a nigger. I'm going to call him a Negro because we're in this together. So there was, of course, he was hit back by another tweet. And this tweet, I don't give racist people any respect, so I cut off who they are. They don't get no followers from us. The American, buddy, the American national anthem doesn't see color. Dems have been in the front line dividing this country with race wars. All right, come here, buddy. Let me explain something to you. Francis Scott Key, okay? Francis Scott Key wanted a united nation, okay? Not the United Nations, the United States. That is what Francis Scott Key wanted, and that is the song he so gloriously wrote. And so I said, yes, that is right. But let's sing all the song, damn it. Let's get down to verse number 3. The verse that they don't let people know about. The verse that Francis Scott Key penned after the Battle of Baltimore. He was sitting in the house and he was like, let me go ahead and write this. Oh, the ramparts we watched. That's going to be a bar. The Rockets red. Oh, nigga, they're going to eat this up. Rockets red glare. And then he also sat and was like, man, how are we going to plant for the land and of the free in the home of the brave? All right, next verse. Then he got down to his third verse and was like, let me make sure people understand just how I feel about this country. He said, no refuge. You can't run nowhere for the hireling and the slave from the terror of flight. I dare you to run, nigger. Or the gloom of the grave. Means if you run, you die. Negroes. I'm sure he said nigger. This was Francis Scott Key. And then he finished it with the bar at the end. for the land of the free and the home of the brave. And it's always funny because people do that selective knowledge, right? It's not unlike church when you go to church and they be like, hey, don't do this. And then you be like, why? It's not in the Bible. And they be like, but it kind of is. They be like, look at Isaiah 3:2, and then we're going to jump to Genesis 1:4, and then we're going to jump to Romans 3:7. And you be like, wait, that's not even, none of these are complete sentences, but it's what I want you to see. So it's not unlike that. But the problem is, again, in the nation, we say, lift every voice and sing is divisive. But if you actually look at the lyrics for this one, it would be lift every voice and sing, that's all y'all, and us, till earth and heaven rings, until the whole club is shaken, right? Club being earth, with the harmonies of liberty. And that's where the divisiveness comes in, because we don't want y'all niggas free. Just say it. We're fine with that. Just tell the truth. All men are not created equal here. Just run with that. Listen, I'll own that. Just tell the truth. And it's one of those things where you go back to, hey, we'll have Usher at your halftime show. We'll have black people singing. We'll have Jay-Z and Rock Nation in charge of putting a halftime Super Bowl halftime show together. God damn. Say that 3 times fast. Don't. All right. We'll market off of all things black until a point. And then when we get that point, y'all niggas need to chill, right? And it was perfect because they had that representative there sing America the Beautiful. You know who I'm talking about. Rap star, now pop singer, Post Malone. Yeah, he is a folk singer, not pop singer, folk singer. He is a folk singer, ladies and gentlemen. He got popular off of the backs of blacks, so good old American tradition. And now he sings America the Beautiful at the Super Bowl as a pop singer. And it's just that thing. People will cash out on us. But remember, in a heartbeat, what the late great Paul Mooney said, everybody wants to be a nigga. But nobody wants to be a nigga. Speaking of niggas, Trump is back in the Trump is back in the news. Oh, wait, before we go to Trump, something happened today, and it's breaking news. So after all of this, the Chiefs did win the Super Bowl, and then they had the parade today. And then parade today, there was a shooting where one person died, and there's a number of people hurt. And as I say all the time, we have a gun issue, but I will tell you this. If Baltimore had won, there would have never been any gun violence in Baltimore. There would have never been any gun violence in Baltimore, and I'm sticking to it. Trump is back in the news, ladies and gentlemen. And he's back in the news for his remarks about his position on the U.S. and NATO. All right, so NATO had come up with this thing where it said, hey, all the NATO countries will spend 2% of their gross domestic product, GDP, on defense, right? Because things is getting warm in the world, and the U.S. can't, we spend 50 of ours, but we need y'all to spend at least 2%. And he said, basically, click that next slide so I can get his quote, please. He said, if the country didn't pay and you're delinquent, no, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage Russia, to do whatever the hell they want. You gotta pay your bills. That comes from the man who hasn't paid taxes in over a decade. It's amazing how people, but yes, you go, hey, you got countries in NATO that are wealthy. You got France, you got Germany, you got those countries who can spend the 2%, and they're spending more than that. Then you have countries that are not that wealthy, and 2% of their GDP might be the difference in making sure that their entire country is eating or not. And even though the U.S. has the money to make sure their entire country is eating, we don't. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But the importance of solidarity is what is the issue here. And so, of course, people reached out to Russia, was like, Russia, did you hear what Trump said? What's your position on what Trump said? And they said, mum is the word. I ain't got nothing for you. They said, we are silent. I'll go ahead and wait till we get back to the mum is the yo. We almost there. There'd be mad pictures on the show. I don't think y'all realize the amount of work it goes in production. Russia's response was, mum is the word. We ain't got nothing to say at all. And I guess the thing is crazy is because you have a political party that is so quick to jump on the wealth of the president that is standing on now and refuses to acknowledge the criminality of the one there. And I'm just saying, like, hey, if you hold Trump as accountable as you do to finding out that Joe Biden hit his head on the plane when he was getting off, you might have a better candidate going for office. And let's be honest. Look at this. Let me get my hand down. Look at this. This right here. I'd have hit my head on this plane too. That joint is small. Like, stop. And I've hit my head on plane doors before. So I'm not even going to pretend like this is a senility thing. This is just, he hit his head on the plane. Relax, guys. And so as we deal with what's happening in Kansas City and we send our thoughts and prayers, we also have to deal with this at Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. Lakewood is, a woman walked into Lakewood Church on Sunday and opened fire on the 45,000 congregation church. I'm not saying that there are 45,000 people there, but injuring a 5-year-old boy and a 56-year-old man. And then Fox reported it. Lakewood Church shooting suspect identified as transgendered with Free Palestine on the gun. So that means you actually can do your job. You can actually investigate and report news, because why the hell do you know Free Palestine was on the gun, right? Now, could this be a lie? It could be. Would it be propaganda? On every level, whether it's true or not? It's absolutely propaganda news. And this is why the media in this country, and I'm not going to give CNN a pass because CNN does the exact same thing, but the media in this country is not to be trusted. So what you should do is come get your news from Comedy Trap House News here at the Comedy Trap House. Yes, we will shamelessly plug in the middle of giving you the news. So there's a backlash, because people are like, man, this is Joel Osteen's church. Joel Osteen, the most popular guy right now, making millions and millions off of his congregation. The same guy that refused to let people into church when there was flooding from the hurricane. The same guy who was like, man, we had damage. And they looked inside and it was like, there was no damage in here at all. He was like, huh? Oh, word? So he was like, we're going to pray for our church congregation. And it's like, man, here's what the problem is, ladies and gentlemen. People are searching for God on all levels, right? Like, we're looking for something. People are searching for God. And the problem is, while you're searching for God, if you can't even find him in church, where are you supposed to find him? Because the representations of God are hustlers. Joel.
What's that pastor from New York?
What's your boy? I don't even remember his name anymore, dude. But they're all over, dude. Listen, Creflo A. Dollar told you from the door, my name is Creflo A. Dollar. Creflo about $1. And he is still getting his money off with Dollar Ministries. He told you.
Oh, so that's why he called himself Eddie Long.
No.
He was trying to show that dick.
No. Eddie Long was another nigga. Yo, you said, you're just telling their name. Yeah. He was like Ed D. Long. But people are searching for God. And so during the Super Bowl, they decided to put up 2 advertisements for people who might be looking for God. And they spent $14 million in ad space, approximately, because we don't know how much each of the ad space costs. But the average ad space was $7 million. So instead of using that $14 million to feed the hungry, go out and minister and do the things that Jesus said to do, they threw up a couple commercials and they just wanted us to know, hey guys, guess what? Instead of doing his work, we just want you to know Jesus gets us. He gets us. Good job for expanding the kingdom of God. And that is our time. That's all we're reporting on the Comedy Trap House News today. We're going to talk about some things in the chat real quick because Monique went off. But it wasn't really newsworthy. But let's talk about it. Where are we at, guys? Positive. Love y'all. Love everybody. For those who caught the live, I hope it was everything you wanted it or needed it to be. Please talk about what is it? The frat flight at University of Tennessee. They jumped a black student while saying the N-word. I had not seen that. But that sounds about white. I mean, right. I mean, yeah, same. You have this growing hate in this country, right? Like it's legitimately cancerous, right? Like if you think about fighting cancer, right? It only takes one cancer cell and then they grow and then you do all the things you can and you're like, man, why the hell does the cancer keep coming back? I went in remission, da da da. You have to cut out the source of the cancer. And right now, the source of the cancer is running for president again. And so every racist piece of shit in this country is emboldened, right? Like, I don't know what the total hate crime reported increase is, but I know initially when Trump declared his presidency, it jumped 64%. Hate crime, 64%. And I'm not saying hate crime on just black people. I'm saying hate crime across Jewish, Muslims, Palestinians, who are also Muslims, but just so you know, we can differentiate. Asians, blacks, it happened across the board. Mexicans caught it kind of the worst at that point, but we didn't do anything. We let it fester. And as it continues to fester, hell, David Duke and the KKK came out to support Donald Trump, and he basically said, I don't know who they are. And it was like, it's the KKK. And he was like, oh, well, you know, we can't stop Americans from doing what they want. The hate is real. The cancer that's growing in America is real. And I say, please be mindful of that when you, as any minority, send your kids out daily, that they are not in a place that's safe anymore. They're not in a country that's willing to protect them, because they'll say that person said free Palestine, or that person said something racist, and they'll flip it back on them, and then all of a sudden, America's in a very dangerous position, ladies and gentlemen. If he wins the election again, my fear is that democracy as you know it will be over. If he doesn't win, then you're dealing with a backlash from that side of the country that January 6th might pale in comparison to. So, yeah, and this one, like I said, the world's looking for God. Make sure you stop and pray because we need it. Where else do we go? Anybody that watched the Super Bowl, Nicola? Hey, wait. First of all, Kai, what happened for some people? I'm not gonna hold you. Their internet dropped, so they couldn't watch the game on the Paramount thing. So they had to go to Nickelodeon, and I think that was on purpose, to tell you the truth. But you know, I think that's what happened. Why some people went that way. The laws heard. Yeah, listen. The 49ers won that game for 3 quarters. It just wasn't long enough. You have to put the Chiefs away when you know the fix is in. And when you're that team that you know you're at a disadvantage, You got to leave no doubt, Herm. Leave no doubt. We need a late night talk show from Marvin. Listen, dude, from your lips to God's ears, Elmer. From your lips to God's ear. What is it? The warning was clever. You petty as hell. Listen, I didn't get petty as hell. Yes. My indies. Oh. I made it this time. The chick falling off the pole was funny. That was funny. Hey, Dom. Fuck all that stream. Dom.
Let's go.
Let's go, Dom. Salute
go.
to you in the super chat. Listen, we're going to get back to everybody else, but right now, Dom gets all the love because he said, hey, Marv, here's a cup of coffee on me. Thank you, dude. Oh, for being so fine. Oh, we got it. So it's Dominique. Is that what it is?
Hope so.
Yo ski, baby. Yo ski. Oh, I'm not dressed for that. I'm sorry. I'm dressed for the top of the table. Where are we at? That wasn't Ken. Oh wait, that wasn't Ed D. Long character. Oh, and the music skit. How long ago was that?
Damn, that had to be a long time.
Damn. Yeah. I was about to say that's you. You get props for that. Hey Marvin, did you have your popcorn and raisinets watching Club Shit? Oh, absolutely. Listen, dude. I didn't get popcorn and raisinets. I had Mike and Ike's because I didn't go as prepared as I thought I was. But Monique did exactly what she was supposed to do on that show. I'm a little bothered by the backlash that she got because Cat Williams didn't get that much backlash, right? Everyone was silent and quiet on Cat Williams. Now for Monique, and I think it's one of the things we talk about a lot is being a black woman in America is its own very special, very, very special challenge because she's got recordings of Tyler Perry and people were like, she's lying. No. She's got recordings. Shannon Sharp heard the recording and was like, yeah, Tyler said it, right? She spoke eloquently. She did what she was supposed to do. She called out Oprah. She called out Tyler because they cost her money. She called out D.L. Hughley, and then he came on and was like, you fat bitch. And it was like, that's your response? Like, that's your response. Like, listen, dude, I agree that maybe everything has not been perfect, but you can't tell me Cat was running a 4 flat and walking across the country and hitchhiking across the country and there'd be no blowback by that. It's very selective anger. But what she did and how she told the truth and the people that she put on blast, somebody needs to answer. And I don't think they will. And I don't think we will hold them accountable. Tyler Perry's going to put out another one. Madea finds herself a man. And we'll forget. He's going to put out another horrible show on BET. And I said horrible show. He's going to put out another horrible show on BET because BET's not holding him to any level of quality, but we keep watching it. So I thought Mo did what she did. It was funny. It was entertaining. She's going to have some career backlash from it, but I think she's already had career backlash. So what's the fear at this point, right? What do I got to lose if you've already cost me millions of dollars? Hi, Courtney. How are you? Did we get anyone? If you could create, if you could create your own halftime show, who do you want to perform at the next Super Bowl, please and thank you. Listen, we ain't got to have a next Super Bowl. I thought Usher needed to get another 25 minutes. I said, fuck that game. That game was boring. People weren't moving the ball. Defenses was tired. Dre Greenlaw tore his his Achilles, trying to walk back onto the field. Fuck that game. Let Usher ride.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
Commercials? Super Bowl commercials? Any favorites?
Yeah, my favorite Super Bowl commercial, by far, I thought it wasn't even close. One, I want to shout out to, I had 3 friends that were in Super Bowl commercials this year. Ayana the Artist, who's a homie. Sean G, who's a funny comedian. He was in the Ice Spice joint. And, oh, damn, I lost the 3rd friend. But I saw you, friend.
You lost one.
I forgot. But I saw you, friend. Shout outs to my peoples who got love during the Super Bowl.
And then you're also a comic book man.
Yes.
Deadpool and Wolverine drop. What you think?
Finally. Finally. But favorite Super Bowl commercial, and I didn't think it was close, was like a good neighbor.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Like a good neighbor. That was by far, everyone was like, the Dunk Kings one was hilarious. And I was like, I don't get off the mediocre. We talked about this before. Mediocre white people don't do anything for me.
Right.
Mediocre white people don't do anything. So I didn't get it. I looked at it and was like, they spent all this money on what? I'm going to get my Dunkin' Donuts coffee regardless, but I thought that was stupid. But like a good neighbor was brilliant. Neighbor.
And it's like they chose something new too, because so many people have worn out the get to the chopper. Like,
Oh, absolutely,
you know
yeah.
it's worn out now. But for them to switch it up and say neighbor, it's neighbor.
You're right, neighbor. Yeah, neighbor. Neighbor. I was
It's
like,
like it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nigga. But yeah, all right. So guys, that's our time with Comedy Trap House News. Today, again, listen, we are always good for super chats. Dom, DM me so we can figure out, what's real. Anyway, like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please send this to your friends. We're like the goal this year. Like we have number goals. We want to grow the views of this show exponentially over the next few months, and I think we can. We will now. There's Comedy Trap House News is now on TikTok, so you can go follow us on TikTok for clips, and we'll just be posting clips of the shows that we've done in the past, new news and all that stuff. So follow us on TikTok. Again, like, share, subscribe. Super chats are always it. Yes, the Bob Marley biopic dropped, and I heard from people involved in the product that it's really, really, really phenomenal. So please go through.
That dude's a good actor.
Unless you're Jamaican. And then if you're Jamaican, you're going to be like, that's not a Jamaican accent. If it was a real Jamaican accent, no one would be able to understand the movie. We got to give some sacrifice here, ladies and gentlemen. Some. Yes, but I'm serious. Do that. Also, Demon Slayer will be dropping in the movie theaters. Now, guys, please understand, it's not a movie. It's not a movie. It is just going to be the last episode of last season and the first episode of this upcoming season. That's it. You're going to pay movie ticket prices to see this. Now, if you're super hype about seeing the Hashira training arc, go for it. I, however, think this is the weakest arc in all